The little big man. That's GP2. Probably one of the smallest players who really operates in a center position, and he plays for your Golden State Warriors. His defense is fantastic, but his offense has needed a lot of work. But I think in the Golden State Warriors versus Brooklyn game, we really saw some of the areas that I think he can stand out in the future going into what hopes to be a Dubs playoff run. In this first clip right here, we see essentially the Brooklyn Nets and Golden State Warriors have it pretty close here. Guy Santos has the ball, and you notice GP2 is sitting in the paint. And this is a common theme. He loves the paint. He knows he's not a great three-point shooter, shooting less than 40% from pretty much wide open three-point shots. He always loves to sit in the paint and draw attention. And so right here, he gets the ball deep inside the paint, and he also makes good decisions. He goes right here, spins around, and gets a nice move off and scores. And he's pretty good at finishing in the paint for somebody of his size, basically barely over 6 feet, which is awesome for a player like him. Right here, you even see GP2 notice and rim run even in fast breaks. This is early in the game when the Warriors are down 20, but you see here, GP2 knows his place. He's going to run straight towards the rim, get the pass, and score. And he finishes over a taller defender. And I want you to keep that in mind because GP2 is pretty elite at finishing over taller defenders because he is the little big man, the guy who's always going up against people at least 5 inches above his size. Right here, the Warriors are dribbling the ball up the court. Steph Curry is coming up the court. And notice, GP2 once again is in the paint, guarding by D'Angelo Russell, former Warrior and maybe not the best defender in the league, to say the least. We play this clip a little bit more here, and most players in GP2's position go immediately out to the three-point line because that's where a small guard, because that's the position a player like him would normally play, would go. But GP2 is a little bit different. He basically stops as soon as he gets to the block area and then immediately comes back towards the paint. Either this is because he noticed that Quinton Post gets the ball and he's basically unguarded because D'Lo has to come switch over onto Quinton Post, or it's because he notices his own limitations, which is he's not a great three-point shooter. His three ball wasn't going in this game. So he basically collapses into the paint, and Quinton Post finds him with the easy pass, and GP2 is going to finish that all day, every day, as are you and I when we're wide open for a layup and not nervous enough to finish it. But GP2, or this masked man right here, obviously his name is really made on the defensive end. The offensive plays, though, are what's going to keep him on the floor. He's always going to be on the floor with like 3 minutes left when we have a lot of timeouts and we need a defensive possession. But right here, maybe initiating offense could be huge for the Warriors. GP2 has the ball here, and he's basically going to dribble straight down. And getting this type of dribble penetration is very rare for GP2. He's not very good at this, but definitely something I've seen unlocked in his game, in this game, as well as in the previous games before he got the nasal fracture injury, which really stymied his progress I thought he was making on the offensive end. But he does a great job of penetrating right here, and he's not afraid of big man. You see right here, the Nets are going to go straight up. He's in a great position to contest the shot, but GP2 almost suns him. I mean, look at that shot right there. This is just, put that in your room, make a poster of it. This looks awesome. But he doesn't finish it, but he barely misses, and he's actually able to get the rebound and puts it back up and in. And I just thought that was an awesome play because he was able to get 2 points out of it and shows you he's not afraid of playing in the paint. He's not afraid of competing against big man. Steph Curry obviously would never do something like that, but Gary Payton, that's a different story. He's really good at those dunks and really going aggressively towards the basket. Right here, once again, you see Gary Payton looks like he's about to set a screen here for Draymond Green and do an action with him. But here in this lineup, you notice Quinton Post is actually essentially operating like a guard, and Gary Payton's operating in the offense more like a big. His job, Gary Payton's, is to screen just as well as Draymond Green, whereas Moody, Quinton Post, and Steph are the shooters in these positions, which is very interesting. Only I feel like a few teams like the Warriors really have it where they can play a non-shooter like Gary Payton in a big man position and then also have somebody like Quinton Post, who I believe is probably one of the top 30 centers in the league right now from being a G League center, as a shooter and somebody who actually is going to make the Nets pay attention to him at the 3-point line. And so with all that setup, Gary Payton kind of fakes the screen right here and then goes into the paint. And Moses Moody catches the ball looking for, the Warriors to run action. And he notices right here that there's a mismatch. There's 2 players for the Warriors, Gary Payton and Draymond, and only 1 for the Net. And he sees that Gary Payton is wide open, and Gary Payton's going to take that and easily make that layup, noticing that there's only 1 player to guard 2 players from the Warriors, and that makes an easy bucket. So if you guys like this quick replay of everything Gary Payton and just some of the few offensive plays I thought that were super important for Gary Payton and why I believe he can potentially stay on the court if he continues this offensive performance, please feel free to like and subscribe if you like detailed Dubs content. Thank you guys for watching.